If you're a guy right now and dating just feels off, you're not crazy. A lot of men are feeling it. It feels like a lot of guys are just checking out, like it's not even worth it anymore. I get it. I felt it too. There's so many things about modern dating that just feel confusing, inconsistent, and honestly just frustrating. But I don't think checking out completely is the answer. Because when I honestly looked at my own situation and reevaluated why things were happening the way they were happening in regard to a relationship and dating, it completely changed everything. I came to the realization that I personally was moving. I wasn't moving how I should have been moving. And that's honest, you know? I definitely would say that it'd be very easy to point the finger and say, like, she did this, she did that, gaslight this, manipulate that, blah, blah, blah. None of that doesn't mean any of that isn't true. Like, the last woman I was dealing with, trust me, like, it was, let's just say I'm glad I'm past it. It was a learning lesson. But the truth is, again, it comes back to me. I didn't even need to put myself in that situation, but I did. Why? I had to ask myself, why? Why was I chasing this woman? Why was I seeking her validation? Because it was just going autopilot. You know what I mean? Like, it never even crossed my mind what was going on. And I think that's part of the game. Getting attached too fast, validation seeking, just not seeing things clearly in a clear-headed fashion, thinking short term, things like that are what I learned that they definitely weren't helping my situation. You know what I mean? I just was looking at things in a completely backwards perspective. And it's easy to do if you're not fully aware or conscious of what is actually happening, especially in dating. I think it goes deeper than the funny thing is, to me, to be quite frank, I don't think relationships are really that deep. I feel like they should be simple or at least easy. I don't think they should be difficult. Of course, they're not always going to be easy. But at the same time, if you really, for a relationship to actually function correct, or at least to work, there's a lot at play. I never considered that for the longest time. I just thought it was like, oh, get a girlfriend, and yeah, everything's gonna work itself out. But it's like, no, no, it just doesn't work like that, man. And it's kind of, it is what it is. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. But instead of shifting blame, which is very easy to do, I've decided that there's got to be a better way. I got to take accountability and, move forward in a real meaningful way. So I started asking myself better questions. Not only better questions, but just asking myself questions. Because I didn't think about a lot of this shit, to be honest, especially while dating. It was just like, almost like tunnel vision, like, because I don't know what it is, man. I'm not trying to make an excuse at all. Something that just came to me was like, maybe it's the hunter in us or in me. Because I just saw, like, I used to just see, like, boom, attractive girl, zeroing in on my targets. Like, I'm the fucking, just like, I see one thing. And that was, and it happens to the best of us, I suppose. But it wasn't a very nuanced way to look at things. And I don't think it's a surprise why relationships I've been in haven't been successful. And to be honest, I haven't been in that many. I can go into detail more about this subject because in all honesty, I wasn't really a girlfriend guy. Like I literally wasn't someone who seeked or actually dated. I just kind of like fucked around and I don't even really like to admit it out loud, but there was early 20s. I was kind of a fuck boy. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, and it's funny for the guys that have more trouble have more trouble getting girls or getting laid. The funny thing about it, man, is when I had I can't say absolutely nothing, but when I was a straight up full-time fuck boy, I got almost everything I wanted, like what I was looking for, which was to get laid. I got that quite frequently. But then when I thought I changed for the better, when I thought I was quote unquote being a better person and seeking an adult relationship, it just not only did it backfire, it was just like, damn, what did I get myself into? I should have never even ventured into this paradigm. I should have just stayed doing what I was doing. Which again, that thought process was wrong also. That was just me reacting emotionally to a negative outcome. Again, back to those questions though that I asked myself, like for the first time ever. What am I doing? Why am I here? Who am I seeking? What am I seeking? What am I doing for myself outside of dating? Do I need to date? Am I ready to date? What am I providing this relationship? What am I allowing in this relationship? Do I even want a relationship? One thing I do know for sure is I could easily not only could I easily blame women, I'm biased. I am biased. That doesn't mean I'm misogynistic. That doesn't mean I don't like women or I think they're bad or women are evil. But again, I'm biased and I do feel like in general, generally speaking, I feel like there's blame enough to go around for both parties. But yes, my heart of hearts, I feel like women, you know what? I'm not going to point fingers. It is what it is. The only thing I can do is control what I can control. And what I can control is my inner thoughts, my inner being, my own personal value, my growth. And if at some point there is a woman who aligns with my ideals, who finds me attractive and wants to actually build something real, then, I'll be ready at that time. But everything's about timing. And to be honest, focusing on a relationship is like the last thing me or any other guy should be doing, in my opinion. So there you have it. One last thing. Blaming women, I should say, is honestly, it'd be easy to do. I don't think it really fixes anything. And yeah, where's it gonna get you, right? Blaming a woman. It doesn't change anything. Instead of blaming women or blaming anyone, let's just focus on the reality. And the reality is many of us guys, not all of us, but a lot of guys, we've been completely approaching dating from a weird frame. I've definitely gone into dating from a perspective of lack of power, me putting women on a pedestal, not really being conscious of of the whole dynamic as a whole. So it's almost like going into business. Dating, I think it's like going into business in a field that you have no knowledge of, right? Like It's like me starting become an electrician. Well, it's one thing for me to learn to become an electrician, but without any knowledge whatsoever or any schooling or apprenticeship, me just out of the blue going, I love technology, I love electricity, AC/DC. Let me go into business. I got 25K or whatever it is. I'm just gonna start a business, and that's how I felt like I was dating, right? Like I didn't. All I knew was like just naturally, like, all right, I'm a guy, I need a girl, boom, that's it. I never really thought about it other than that. So that probably explains a lot about why I haven't had any really good long-term successful relationships, to be honest. Let's take control of what we can control. Our own personal lives, our own well-being, our own demeanor, our own spirituality, our own health. Um, it's my biggest thing, man. I hate to see comments from men on like other channels that like discuss some of these topics, and a lot of them are very bitter, very resentful, which I completely wholeheartedly understand. Honestly, that's why I'm making some of this content. It's because it really resonates with me. I legitimately was very, very resentful and just fucking had a lot of venom and anger towards women. And I just, it wasn't benefiting me in any way. Is toxic. And again, I'm not caping for women. I'm not, brown nosing or white knighting. My ultimate thesis, if you will, is that men just focus on yourselves. I'm not saying to isolate. I'm saying if and when you are ready, not only when you're ready, but if you choose to pursue a woman at some point in your life, or if you want to have a life with, if you want to have sex with women, if you want to date women, if you want to maybe even eventually start a family and get married, you should do that. And just understand what comes with it and what's expected. Also, you have the right to have standards just like them. So for every woman that turned you down, rejected you, ghosted you, told you you weren't enough, or you weren't making enough money, you weren't rich enough, you weren't influential enough, you didn't have enough, whatever it is, clout, you have the right to have your own standards as well. So I know personally for me, I will never give a woman a chance who is not at least on my level financially. And I don't mean to do it. It's not meant with malice. It's just experience, right? I've had too many women shut me down because I wasn't enough. I wasn't making enough. I'm not rich enough. My standard is like, I can't support a woman who can't support herself. And again, you just got to know women are going to have standards. And also, if you're going to get married, man, this is, just know exactly what that comes with, bro. I'm not saying it's bad or all bad or anything. I'm just saying it just comes with a certain amount of work and planning and teamwork. And you got to know that like going after a woman, choosing and especially chasing, I don't recommend chasing at all, but if you do start dating a woman or potentially get married, just know she can leave you at a moment's notice. And that's a scary thought because it sucks when you're vulnerable and you put yourself out there and you just get left, you know? So yeah, proceed with caution.